Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of EdTalk with Pastor Strick. I am your boy, Pastor Strick, and I am excited to be back with you again. I know that you guys have been missing me. I've been missing you. And so we are ready to kick off season 2. Season 2 won't officially start until next Tuesday. That is July the 18th. But today we are here with a little pre-show and some announcements I need you to be aware of, and not going to be on here long. So I appreciate those who've already popped in. Listen, do me a favor if you can. Go ahead and tag some of your friends, some of your families. Go ahead and help me out with what we call a little social media outreach. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. I may have gotten off some people's schedules, and I understand how that works. But go ahead and tag them, and then also let me know you're here. Okay, I've seen some of you pop in, but I've seen a few names. I see Centrisa's here from Northwest Arkansas. I see Miss Sanford's here from Little Rock. I see we have Miss Graham. Hey, Mama San. We have Erica Taylor. Hey, Erica, how are you? So just let me know where you are watching from. Pastor Sean's in the studio with me. I see people from Detroit, from Austin, Texas. Hey, Tiara, how are you? Appreciate you guys popping in again. Help me out. I see someone popping in from Sherwood. Got someone from Georgia. Listen, not going to be on here long at all. Probably going to be on here less than 20 minutes because today is really just kind of a pre-show for what we're going to do. I see my sister-in-law on. Hey, how you doing, DeShannon? from Jackson, someone from Jacksonville, Arkansas on. Listen, keep tagging. Let me know where you are watching from and what you are doing. I want to just announce a couple of things, things that are happening that are important to me. And I hope they're important to you as part of the EdTalk family. I've been working behind the scenes since season 1 ended in order to bring you a better listening experience. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. But before I do, I appreciate you. Yes, I see you from Laurel, Mississippi. Appreciate that. Everett, I see you too from Little Rock. Y'all keep tagging, keep sharing, keep letting me see where we're watching from. It's always amazing to see where everyone is from. Someone from Maryland. I see someone from Washington State. That's pretty cool. I guess it's actually morning time there. So good morning to you. That's 10 a.m. For you in Washington State. So it's just amazing to be able to sit in one space and what used to cost literally millions of dollars to be able to do, to broadcast your message that the Lord had given you to the world cost so much money. And now literally you can do it for almost of nothing. It has its pluses and its minuses. That means that now anybody can go out there and just say anything. So you also have to be careful about that. Shout out to Ms. Lyles from Chicago. Appreciate you joining us as well. Listen, let me share a couple of announcements. I want to make this announcement early and often. If you missed our last huddle, which we had on Sunday, you missed an absolute treat. We had a wonderful time in service celebrating 16 scholars who received scholarships from our ministry. Some of you may or may not know, but Fellowship of Champions Church International has been involved with helping send kids to and through college since 2016. And since 2016, we've been able now officially to give over $300,000 to scholars since 2016. In the month of July, we always have our big scholarship push. And so I wanted to share that with you. Some of you may not be aware of it. And I want to let you know that you have an opportunity to give toward this scholarship. Every dime that you give is tax deductible, and every dime that you give goes directly to the support of those scholars who will be attending college or trade school. Our fundraising starts on July 1st, and it runs through July 31st. Ms. Collins, good to see you this morning, this afternoon. And this scholarship, it provides so much reprieve for students to not have to incur more debt or even have to leave school because they can't pay their tuition and fees and room and board. And so as of this morning, we're still slightly under that $30,000 mark. Our goal is $100,000. Last year we did $150,000. But our minimum goal is 100,000. We'd love to exceed that 150, but we love to be able to raise 100,000 so that it basically gets us ready to go to give the same number of scholarships again the next year to the next group of students. But right now we're just a little under that 30,000 mark, but I believe we can get there today. I do. I really believe we can. I know that Facebook likes to throttle back some of our post sometimes when we're talking about raising funds and scholarships, but that's why we have to be persistent. So I'm asking you, if you haven't, to please share the scholarship announcement with your friends, with your family members. Let them know what we're doing. I have a short video that I actually want to share with you for some of those who may not have seen it. And what it does, it just kind of puts a face with what we're doing. It lets you know the two scholarships that we have. We have one called the Fellowship of Champions, A&L Scholarship. It's the Academic and Leadership Scholarship. It's valued at $10,000, and we give $10,000 per FOC A&L scholarship. And then we have another scholarship called the James A. Young Memorial Scholarship. And that James A. Young Memorial Scholarship, it is in the value of $4,000 for each award. And we give that to students who who we have an essay that they write. They share 2 letters of recommendation and their high school transcript. And this year, I'm telling you, we had some amazing students, we had one particular student who already has 51 college credit hours toward her college education. We have other students who graduated with GPAs as high as 4.3. And we have 3 students who are all have selected to be pre-med, one selected to be pre-law. We have several who are going into political science and human rights or some other social field. We have some who are going to go into secondary education to be teachers. We have others who are going into art, others who are going into psychology. I mean, it's just amazing. We have one that's going to school to be a graphic designer. It's just amazing. My daughter Jordan's going to school to be a creative writer, right? It's just amazing to see so many wonderful students who we are able to impact. And so I'm asking you to consider, again, I'm not going to be on long today, but I'm asking you to consider giving to this scholarship. Sowing a seed, $50, $100, $500, $1,000. There may be somebody out there who can do $5,000 or $10,000. I think it's so amazing when people get committed to it. I have an individual who is a friend of the ministry, and he's a friend of the ministry. He's never attended one of our live services, and I don't believe he attends many, if at all, of our regular services. But he was so committed to what we were doing to help students. He's been sowing $500 per month, every month for the last 3 years. And so he himself, has supported over one full $10,000 scholarship by himself. Why? Because he was like, hey, I might not can give you $10,000 at one time, but I can be consistent and sow this $500 every month. And you might say, well, Pastor, I can't do $500. That's okay. You might can sow $50 a month. You might can sow $100 a month. You might can say, you know what? I'm going to pledge right now today to give $10,000 to the scholarship. I can't give it all at one time, but I can give $100 a month. I can give $250 a month. I can give $500 a month. I can give $25 a month until I reach my $10,000 goal, because you know what? Every single little bit helps. I was talking to Pastor Shun, and we, the ministry, Fellowship of Champions, we gave our first seed into a scholarship fund. Watch this. In 2015, in April of 2015, it wasn't a lot. We sold $250 into the Black Alumni Weekend Scholarship Fund, because the Lord told us to start sowing into helping young people get to and through college. We had no idea, zero idea, that about 17 months later, he would come back and say, okay, now I want you to start a scholarship. And that $250 you gave, I want you to up it to $10,000. And that became our faith project at our church, because we didn't have $10,000. We were meeting in various hotels in Northwest Arkansas. We didn't have a building. We were setting up and breaking down. We had people who were driving at that time still from all over the state of Arkansas to help us do ministry. And God said, give a $10,000 scholarship. And we went as far as our faith would take us. And as far as our faith would take us at that time would be to actually get a large scholarship check printed up. And that's what we did. We got a large scholarship check printed up. We presented that scholarship at the end of June of 2016. We told that young lady we were going to support her, Miss Kaylee Dedner. We said, we're going to support you with this scholarship, and we're going to give you $10,000. The way we're going to give it to you is we're going to give you $1,250 every semester for 8 semesters. And all we ask is that you maintain a 3.0. She did her job, and she maintained a minimum of a 3.0 her entire 8 semesters. And those entire 8 semesters, do you hear me? Those entire 8 semesters, we never missed a scholarship payment. And not only did we not miss it in those 8 semesters, those 4 years, every year we added more and more scholars. And so not only are we supporting The scholars who are in the class of 23-24 with $96,000, we're also supporting the class that was in 22-23. We're also supporting the class that was in 21-22. And we will continue to do that because we know that not only are we committed, right, to doing this, it's what God has called us to do. And so let me share just real quick this little piece of video. This is still Ed Talk, but scholarships are a part of Ed Talk for me. So let me share this video and I'll be right back. Hello, champions. As many of you know, in 2016, Fellowship of Champions Church awarded its first $10,000 academic and leadership scholarship. Each recipient receives the $10,000 at an increment of $2,500 per year for 4 years. Recipients must maintain a 3.0 GPA throughout their college attendance to maintain the scholarship. Since its inception, we have had 5 college graduates and 2 graduates from trade schools thanks to the FOC Academic and Leadership Fund. FOC also offers the James A. Young Memorial Scholarship, which is a $4,000 scholarship named in honor of Mr. James Young. Since its inception, we've had 21 scholarships awarded for a total of $84,000. To date, there have been 13 FOC Academic and Leadership Scholarships awarded for a total of $130,000. The total of both scholarships awarded since 2016 totals over $214,000. We are asking you to please partner with us in this great initiative. Simply scan the barcode and choose which method you would like to give. On behalf of all of our future scholars who receive a scholarship, we would like to thank you in advance for all of your wonderful support. I smile every time I see that video because I think about the fact that we had awarded over $214,000 in combined scholarships. And now after this Sunday, we add another $96,000 to that, which puts us at a grand total of $310,000. So shout out to every single person who's given to the scholarship fund since 2016. For every dollar that was given, to every $10,000 donation that was given. Every single bit of that has helped us to accomplish those goals. So again, I appreciate you. I thank you. Somebody may be able to drop a link, the Linktree link in there. If not, I'll put it up later. But there's multiple ways in which you can give to the scholarship fund. All you have to do is you can go to the Fellowship of Champions website. In fact, let me see. I'll put it up here on the screen for just a second. Here are some different ways that you can give. You can give through Givelify. You can give through PushPay. You can give through Tidally or Text to Give. And even on this occasion, if you are stateside and you want to, you can give to PayPal for the scholarship fund. We want you to have as many possible ways as available. You go to any one of these platforms and you look up Fellowship of Champions Church. Make sure it's the Fellowship of Champions Church that's got our logo on it, kind of like the one you see behind me here on the Step and Repeat. And you can find it. Thank you. I think somebody just put, thank you, Kimberly. She just put the link tree in there. If you can click that link tree or copy it or whatever, it'll give you all the multiple ways in which you can give. Okay. So let's hit it. I would love for us to show up tonight before we do our next thing, which I want to talk about, which is Relationships 101. Relationships 101 is tonight. Relationships 101 is going to be tonight at July 11th at 7 p.m., not at 11 o'clock. It's going to be July 11th, that's today, at 7 p.m. It is going to be done a little differently, right? It's going to be done via Zoom. And so typically what we've done is we've just put it out on the platform and people could join at the last minute, but that's not going to be the case. If you want to come and you want to be a part of Relationships 101, then what we're going to need you to do is we're going to need you to register. And here is the link for you to register. It's also in the comment section. You need to actually go and register, because this afternoon or to this evening sometime, you're going to get a message to tell you how to log on to the Zoom. We have to do that because we have to make sure that the Zoom is secure so that people don't come on and do things that they shouldn't be doing and disrupt the Relationships 101. We're going to be talking about understanding. We're going to be talking about understanding and establishing healthy boundaries in relationships. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. You're going to get to see us like you always do, but it's going to be fun for us because we're going to get to see you tonight. And so we're encouraging couples, we're encouraging individuals. Listen, whether you're married, whether you're in the process of getting a divorce, whether you are divorced, whether you're happily single, whether you're sadly single, whatever you may be, we're going to ask you to join us because it is going to be awesome. It will be recorded, but I'm not sure about how that's going to get put out. Maybe if you register, they can send it out to everybody who registered. So I would encourage you that even if you can't attend this evening because you have another appointment, you got something else to do, but you want to hear about it, what we're going to be talking about, at least register. Because once you register, then your name will be captured. And then what they'll be able to do after the recording is over is to send that out to everybody who registered. So that's happening tonight. I want to encourage you to do that. Join us for Relationships 101. We're going to be talking about understanding and establishing boundaries in relationships. Okay. And then my third announcement I want to make this often, and I want to make it early. We want to see you here on our Fayetteville campus, right? Our next huddle is going to be Sunday, August the 13th. You probably want to come. That's going to be right before school gets started. We're going to have a special time in which we're going to be praying over those who work in schools, people like our bus drivers, our cafeteria workers, our teachers, our administrators, and most importantly, our kids. We're going to have a time where we lay hands on them. We're going to have a time for a prayer of protection over all of them. And we're going to be praying for our parents. We're going to be praying for our parents that they would have wisdom and guidance how to help their students as they transition to the next grade level, because we truly believe that we don't have to be the statistics that we see when it comes to education. Our kids, we say it all the time, our kids are anointed to learn, and we believe that their kids are anointed, that their teachers are anointed to teach them. And so if you can make plans right now, you have literally, today is the 11th, you have over 30 days. You have over 30 days to plan to get here. Some of you have been saying since January, I'm going to come in February. I'm going to come in March. I'm going to come in April. I'm going to come in May. I'm going to come in June. I'm going to come in July. Listen, let this be the time that you come. It'll be close to the end of summer, and it would be a great way for you to come and join us on our Fayetteville campus. Pastor Sean and I would absolutely love to have you there, okay? So with that being said, let me talk just real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. I told you I wouldn't be, but just a few minutes. We're going to talk about season one. Season one on EdTalk is now live. Season one is now live. There are 13 power-packed episodes. I've been working behind the scenes to get this podcast up and running, and it's been amazing. The number of testimonies that I've received about season one. I can tell you right now, season two is going to be all about changing your thinking and changing your life. Okay. It's going to be all about thinking about how you think. But here's the thing. I did not want to do this. This was not something that I said, oh, I can't wait to do a podcast, or oh, I can't wait to start doing these lives. But we went through this period of time in which we were doing a whole teaching about obedience. And how many of you know you can't just be obedient when it's convenient, right? And the Lord asked me to do it. And I said to the Lord that I was going to do it because I wanted to be obedient to him. What I did not realize, or I guess didn't think about, was the number of people who really would be blessed by some of the things that he would have me to share. And in season one, some of the titles that we had in season one were things like the power of belief. We started off EdTalk with talking about the power of belief. And then we actually ended season one talking about harnessing the power of consistency. And in between there, we had different topics. We had topics where we talked about developing discipline. We talked about what it meant to have a growth mindset. We talked about how to get out of our comfort zones. I had so many people reach out about that particular message because it said it helped them to, some of them were wanting to apply for jobs, and they didn't think they would get the job. They didn't think they were qualified. I think I was keeping track, and at last count, I had at least 5 people who had told me that they got the courage to apply for new jobs and got new jobs, and they had the courage to ask for a raise and they got a raise, or they asked for the courage to ask for a promotion. And one person said they got the courage to ask to work remotely, even though they were telling everybody they couldn't do that anymore. But their boss let them do that because they had the courage to do it. Why? Because they were stepping out of their comfort zone. I think the thing that helped me so much and really just blessed me is they said that it wasn't just that I was hyping them up, but I was giving them actual practical steps in which to walk out in every single one of those episodes. And that's what I'm going to seek to do in season 2. I'm going to be talking about changing your thinking and changing your life, because the Bible says it like this. It says that for as a man thinketh, and when it says man, it means a person, a man or a woman, male or female. But as a person thinketh, so is he. And so I want us to begin to be metacognitive. What do I mean by that? I want us to start to think about our thinking, because if we can identify patterns in which we have wrong thinking, erroneous thinking, thinking that keeps us stuck, thinking that keeps us held back, thinking that keeps us in a rut, then we can dig those thoughts up. We can dig that wrong thinking up and replace it with right thinking according to God's word. And then we can begin to live a better life. And that's what Ed talks about. Ed talks about helping you to live the God-given life you've been called to live. And so, again, in season 1, we talked about so many things. I got a message yesterday morning when someone said, "Hey, I found your podcast on YouTube." And it was interesting because it wasn't supposed to be live. Well, it was live, but y'all weren't supposed to know it was live yesterday. And 3 people had just found it and had listened to it. And when one young man actually sent me a message, and he said, the thing you did about taming your thoughts and taming your tongue and taming your heart and taming your team was so good. He said, "I'm a high school football coach." He said, "Do you mind if I show these videos to my football players?" And I thought, man, that's awesome. That's not what I intended it to be used for. But if it helps, absolutely. Because no matter what area we're in, whether you're an athlete, whether you're an entertainer, whether you're a preacher, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, or whether you're a business person, if you can tame your thoughts, if you can tame your tongue, if you can tame your heart, and if you can tame the people who you have around you, you are on your way to being successful. And so I'm super excited about season 1. And I want to tell you how you can subscribe to my podcast. That means that even if you're not able to tune in on a Tuesday at 12, not a problem. Because the way it's set up is that when I go live on Tuesdays, once I'm done, by Thursday evening or Friday morning, it'll be on the podcast, and you can listen to it at your leisure. Some of you, you're Android users. That's not a slight, because I am too. I currently have an iPhone because I have 6 people in my family who just they were relentless about getting me to change. and the youngest one finally broke me down and got me to switch from being an Android user to an Apple user. But I did not abandon my iPhone user. So the podcast has been set up on Spotify. It's been set up on YouTube. And I want to show you real quick how you can access that. So let's start with YouTube. YouTube might be the easiest way to access it. All you have to do is go to www, very easy, pastorstrick.com. If you would like to subscribe, if you're an Android user, even if you're not an Android user and you want to subscribe to YouTube, here's the easiest way to do that. Just go to pastorstrick.com. Now, I'm going to say this because I need your help. If you are an Apple user, though, I don't mind that you like it on YouTube, but I do need you to go to the Apple Store. And I do need you to go and look up EdTalk. I do need you to click that subscribe button. And I do need you to make sure that you go and you like it on the Apple Store because I'm seeking to get my name listed among those who had successful podcast launch, right? The person who's been helping me with that. And if you listen, if you want to launch a podcast, reach out to me. I'll give you her name. She's amazing. She's dynamic. But we want to make sure that if you can, that you would go and that you would make sure that you subscribe as an Apple user, even if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I know people like YouTube because you can listen to YouTube and do other things. And so I appreciate that. Listen, you can also get it on Spotify. Okay, there's a link to Spotify if you want to, and you can go to all of these platforms and you can search by EdTalk with Pastor Strick. Okay, if you'll do that, I'll appreciate it. Now save this one for last because I want you to be able to take a screenshot if you need to. Okay. You can go. Here's the tiny URL. Okay. You can write this down. https://tinyurl.com/Pastor Strick on Apple. Take your phone, take a screenshot. If you're on your computer, take a screenshot of that. And then before today is over, okay? Yes, you're right. I mean, in the Apple Podcast app, not the Apple Store. Thank you, Tierney. I appreciate that. Let me get my language correct. That is right. I mean, in the Apple Podcast app. If you'll go there and there's the tiny URL, and you can subscribe and help a brother out. Even listen, I'm gonna say it like this: even if you don't intend to listen to him, you never know. You might be in a situation a year from now and go, man, I need to find out what Pastor Strick said about X, Y, and Z. It'll be there for you. But go ahead and subscribe now. Help me reach my goal. Help us get off to a great start. And I would definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this up there so you'll remember. We will officially start EdTalk Season 2 officially on next Tuesday. Okay? They're asking if somebody can which URL are you wanting? You want I'll post it here. Which one are you wanting? You want Spotify, you want Apple, you want YouTube? Which one are you looking for? And I'll make sure that I go in and get that for you. Let's see. She wants the Apple one. All right, let me get you this Apple one. Here you go right here. I'm going to post it in the comment section, and hopefully you'll be able to do something with that right there. Let me know if that works for you, okay? There we go. That's the one to Apple. So again, EdTalk Season 2 will officially begin next Tuesday. I can already tell you because I'm working through my notes right now. We're going to kick it off with something called the power of optimism. The power of optimism. Now, this ain't no new age, just thinking well kind of stuff, but the Bible talks about let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. And so we're going to start when we start talking about changing your thinking, changing your life. We're going to talk about the power of optimism. Why? Because it's important, because a lot of people think that in this world, they're not going to have problems. They're not going to have troubles, but especially if they're believers. But that's just not the truth. That's just not the truth. And here's why it's not the truth. Jesus himself said, in this world, you will have troubles. He says, but be of good cheer, for I have already overcome them. I've already overcome the world. And if we are in Christ, then we can be optimistic regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situations. But there's work to be done in our thinking that helps us get there. And so if you're going to join me next week, that's what we're going to talk about. And if you say, man, I wish I could join him at 12 noon, but I can't. Don't worry, because starting next week, right? Starting on the 18th, when we finish, by the 20th, you'll be able to go and you'll be able to listen to it on the podcast if you subscribe. So if you're an Apple user, go ahead and go to that Apple Podcast app and make sure you subscribe. I'd encourage you to go, since it's so easy to do, to also go ahead and go to www.pastorstrick.com. It's going to pull up my YouTube page and you can hit subscribe there. If you're a Spotify user, make sure that you go ahead. Let me put that up one more time. If you're a Spotify user, then you can use that Spotify link. And what I'll do is I'll go and I'll grab it and I'll also put it in the comment section so that you have that there as well. So there it is. There's the Spotify link for you. Uh, Listen, I appreciate those of you that are tuning in. I appreciate you popping in for the pre-show. We're at 35 minutes. That's about as long as I wanted to go today. Just wanted to remind you about those announcements, okay? Don't forget about the scholarship fund. Make plans to join us in August 13th for the huddle. Please do that. And then join us tonight for Relationships 101. It's going to be fun. It's going to have a great time. We're going to talk about creating healthy boundaries and what that looks like, not just in romantic relationships, but in family relationships, in your working relationships, right? In your friendships. A lot of people don't understand how to set boundaries, or they don't know how to maintain boundaries. And as a result, that is the dilemma. Listen, I just saw her name pop up, Miss Denise Taylor. Listen, that's who has helped me. That's who's helped me put all the back end of this stuff together. And listen, I told her the other day, this shouldn't be this hard. Doing a podcast, it seems like it just ought to be something you just pop in and do. If you don't have the technical expertise and you don't want to pull your hair out, and you are thinking of doing something like this, I can tell you that Denise has been a wonder to work with, a wonder to work with. She's organized, which is important to me. I don't like have meetings that just go on and on. If we're going to have an hour meeting, it's jam packed with all the right information. I leave with next steps. She follows up, and it's been a joy. I probably wouldn't have made it this far. But that's why you got to tame your team. You got to have the right people around you. I probably would have still been telling God I'm going to do it if I didn't have Miss Taylor pushing me. So if you're expecting to do that, you want to do something like that, get Miss Taylor on your team. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Listen, if you haven't registered, one more time, can somebody drop that registration link one more time about Relationships 101? I'll put it on the screen, but if somebody else can drop it one more time in the comment section, that will be great. You need to register. You need to do so before 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I turn my phone off. I do not like having people text me and message me saying they can't get in because they didn't register at the last minute. So please, 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 whatever you're going to do, get it done before 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, or my phone will be off. Pastor Sean may have hers and she may be able to answer. I don't know. Teresa may be able to help you. I don't know. But Pastor Strick's phone is off at 6 o'clock, and I'm getting focused on what she said. I will not. That means she will not. So we will be focused on what we're getting ready to do at 7 p.m. Listen, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with this video one more time. At the very end of it, it does have what's it called? A QR code, so that if you want to give to the scholarship fund, you can. I'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat station. God bless you. Love you so much. I want you all to have an absolute amazing, amazing Tuesday, and I will see you all tonight. Hello, champions. As many of you know, in 2016, Fellowship of Champions Church awarded its first $10,000 academic and leadership scholarship. Each recipient receives the $10,000 at an increment of $2,500 per year for 4 years. Recipients must maintain a 3.0 GPA throughout their college attendance to maintain the scholarship. Since its inception, we have had 5 college graduates and 2 graduates from trade schools, thanks to the FOC Academic and Leadership Fund. FOC also offers the James A. Young Memorial Scholarship, which is a $4,000 scholarship named in honor of Mr. James Young. Since its inception, we've had 21 scholarships awarded for a total of $84,000. To date, there have been 13 FOC academic and leadership scholarships awarded for a total of $130,000. The total of both scholarships awarded since 2016 totals over $214,000. We are asking you to please partner with us in this great initiative. Simply scan the barcode and choose which method you would like to give. On behalf of all of our future scholars who receive a scholarship, we would like to thank you in advance for all of your wonderful support.